Okay, I have 50 needles in working position. I'm about to cast on using my cast on comb. I have my machine threaded. I'm using worsted weight on a Brother Bulky 270, but all you need to do this process is a garter bar that matches your machine and a cast on comb. Okay, my tension is set at 8, but those are irrelevant factors. The technique is this. What you want to do is you want to take your cast on comb and hold it so that the hooks face you. And then you're going to put it up in between the gate pegs, and you're going to hold it so that the surface is, well, so that it's centered basically, and that the top of the cast on comb is even with the gate pegs. This is important, okay? Because we are going to cast on an open cast on, fastest it can be. We're going to just knit one row. Now, once you get it out of the way, we're going to make sure this end is clear of the hooks, and we're going to tip it so that the hooks catch every single loop. Now, that one didn't go well. There we go. I don't want it to catch anything more, okay? And I'm going to keep my clothespin on that end. I'm going to add some weight. Not a lot, but just enough to keep tension on it so that the stitches don't fall off, because there are all open stitches and that could happen if you're not careful. Okay, now I'm going to knit about 20 rows or 19 more rows so I can turn the hem. So I have my hem ready to hang. I'm going to take my weights off and put them out of the way. And I'm going to take my garter stop plate, and I'm going to move my needles that are in work and push them out and drop the stop plate. That keeps the needles from wiggling around and it makes it easier to put your stitches in place. Now I'm going to push my knitting back. That gives me a little wiggle room. Okay, I'm bringing the garter bar up behind the knitting, and I'm going to start in about 3 eyelets from the end. And I'm going to place, I'm keeping tension on the garter, the cast on comb, and I'm lifting the garter bar up to catch the first stitches. And once you get them going, they go all the way along the row pretty evenly. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see how that all worked. So now I have my eyelets sticking through the same place, each of the stitches, perfectly even because they're perfectly spaced. Okay, now remember I was putting downward tension on here. So at this point I want to make sure that all my latches are open so I can then hang the garter bar right onto the fork. Okay, all my latches are open, and I'm going to simply come up here and I'm aligning the stitch on the left side. You can do it on the right, but if you want to align it on the right, you will align the stitch on, I like to align the stitch that's on the eyelet to the second needle on the bed, the second needle that has a stitch. That makes on this side, on the left side, that makes the stitch on the left side perfectly aligned. Okay? So now I am going to get rid of that clothespin, get it out of my way. I'm going to, my eyelets are on the hooks of each of the needles that has a stitch, and I'm going to put more tension on the cast on comb and just bring it to the back. I'm going to remove my garter bar, and then I'm going to remove my cast-on comb. Voila! We have just hung a hem in just seconds. And then I'm just going to continue with my garment. Now, just to look at it, I'm going to take it off my machine. And there you have a perfect hung hem in seconds. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, please click my picture to subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications of upcoming videos. Happy machine knitting!